Welcome
to Film Shapes,
the podcast.
Sharks have teeth like that. It's not possible. You can't crossbreed different species.
Hi, well, today we're going to talk about Annihilation, which is Alex Garland's follow-up to Ex Machina from 2014. It's about a biologist, played by Natalie Portman, who goes into this thing called the Shimmer. It's a mysterious alien anomaly. She's going to find what happened to her husband and other people who've gone in. This is a Netflix release, in Australia anyway. There was a problem with this. Hi, Roly.
Hi.
Sorry to ignore
I was waiting
you.
for the introduction.
Yeah, I just completely forgot. We have two people here today, Roly and Bryony.
Hello.
Hi, Bryony. How you going?
Very well, thank
Good.
you.
Yeah, so you guys saw this on Netflix, I guess?
Yeah, it was the big Netflix release. It was, of all the films we've watched or talked about, it felt after that viewing us, there's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah?
There's, but then now I'm not so sure.
But why?
Just looking at your expression.
I think, no, you're right, there's a lot to talk about, but I wasn't blown away by this. Maybe I was building it up too much.
Yeah.
I really liked Ex Machina, and I think Garland has done some good stuff. He's written for Never Let Me Go, and he wrote the book The Beach is based on, so I probably expected a little bit more.
Sorry,
maybe?
he wrote the book The Beach is based on.
Yes.
Oh,
and I guess
the film he didn't write the film or direct the film?
No, Danny Boyle directed it, but he co-wrote, I'm imagining.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's a talented little bugger. Very very serious man too. But I don't know. There's a lot to chew on. Well, what did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was it was different to your average sci-fi. Mm-hmm. Overall, without giving it a star rating, I thought it was one of the better sci-fi films I've seen in a while.
Ooh, yes.
I thought some of the ideas in it were, pushing the edge a bit. It felt, in a little way, a bit more of a mature approach to a science fiction film in 2018.
Yes.
What did you think, Bryony?
I really enjoyed it. I think when you say there's a lot to chew on, I think there is, in the sense that you could take it in many, many ways depending on who you are viewing it.
Okay. How did you take it?
Oh, well, I think just lots of things are kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
So you could take it as it's a threatening presence. Perhaps it's not. Maybe they accidentally came there and accidentally sort of terraformed an area.
Yeah.
You could read into it in many ways because it never actually explains everything down to the T.
Which is where the maturity comes in, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I had the sense that rather than being some sort of alien life form that is consciously trying to, invade a planet, it's just an extension of nature itself that's just happening now on the Earth. And so this shimmer idea, we should say the idea is, and with spoiler.
Yeah, I was going to say we probably are going to spoil.
We're going to spoil
a
some
fair
things,
bit.
probably. So make sure you see the film first. But this idea of the shimmer as a lens, a refracting prism,
Yes.
that refracts not just light, but also DNA. And it's a far-fetched idea, but
it's good.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, it is. It's a good premise, I think. Yeah.
And that, of course, then allows all sorts of mutants to arrive. One thing about this shimmer, though.
Did you say mutants? Are
Or
we
mutations.
verging into X-Men territory?
Well, we are.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
The mutations did take the form of mutants.
Yeah.
They grow quite quickly, though, I noticed.
Yes.
Really?
The onset.
That's been there a while, hasn't it? That shimmer, and it's expanding across this jungle or swamp, I suppose, isn't it?
But in terms of the core crew that go in that we follow, they're
people,
not there for a very long time. And I mean, one of them transforms
Are you talking about the plants
entirely.
lady?
The plant people were interesting.
Yeah, but they were if I'm not mistaken here, and I'm not a scientist, they were plants that grew in the shape of humans. But
Yeah.
the woman,
Yeah.
big spoiler, was a woman who became a plant. Is that right?
Well,
Did we see her?
she disappears and there's a plant in the shape of her.
That looks like her.
Left
yeah.
behind.
So hard to
Amongst-
There
say.
were so many I couldn't
Other
pick
people
out.
plants.
Oh, okay. Other people plants.
I'll tell you one thing though.
That's a plant person, not a person plant, Bryony.
I couldn't help but thinking, when they're, towards when she first finds out about what this shimmer is, and they're saying we've tried everything, we've taken people in there, we've sent drones in there, nothing comes back. Why didn't they just tie a rope to someone? Here's my idea: just tie a rope to him, have him walk in just a little bit. Don't go all the way in straight away. Have him walk in, then pull him out.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, go a little bit further, pull him out by rope.
That is not a very exciting film, though, Rolly.
Okay.
Yeah,
So no one else was thought of that?
I didn't
or-
think of that, but I did think, hey, why don't you just pop in and pop back out again, see what happens? I've gone in, I've gone out.
Yeah, don't go all the way straight away.
I
Just
did think
go in and go out.
I didn't think of the rope idea. That's very, it's very sort of
Can
Hans
I-
Christian Andersen sort of
Can I remind
breadcrumbs.
you both that they
Tell
don't
us, please.
they don't actually remember what happens to them for days once they enter.
Yeah.
We pick up their story again. Perhaps I think they work out that
It's a
they've
few
been there
days.
3 to 4 days,
yeah.
and none of them have any memory of
Right,
it
'cause
or
they've
setting
eaten,
up camp or anything. So, sorry to remind you.
Well,
of
this is
an
exactly why you have
inconvenient-
someone on the outside with a rope,
yeah.
and a clock that works to say, I'm pulling you out now.
Right. You've been in there 20 minutes, out you come. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that would have been good.
Just on the mutants thing, because this there was some disagreement within the film about what was actually was that worms inside the guy's guts? Was that a snake thing, or was that just his intestines?
I took it to be big fat intestines moving around, but who knows?
But really?
They had. I thought they'd. I don't know. Evolved? No, not evolved. Mutated into fat
his
intestines.
intestines had mutated.
Yeah,
into
that's what I thought.
Something. Yeah,
Because there was no end to it, right? Didn't seem to be any. There was no money shot. You'd expect a snake.
What are you
head
trying to
go out.
describe? Oh, there was something weird going on in there.
Yeah, and it seemed to just.
It
be
wasn't
kind of-
just a normal intestine, as one of the people in the group was trying to say. That's just what it looks like.
Yeah, you're all shocked. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the fact that he was they found the remains of him stuck amongst a whole bunch of other matter, for want of a better word.
Yes.
He wasn't left as a carcass, having had a giant worm escape his body.
Yeah.
He was
He was mutating
yes.
into something.
That makes sense. Okay.
Makes
Just wanted to clarify.
I believe it was his intestines,
Yeah. Yeah.
perhaps.
It is a film of quite heavy metaphors at some stage, isn't it?
Metaphors.
There's a lot of metaphor going on.
Yeah. Go. Give me
first
one metaphor.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cancer is a metaphor for the shimmer and vice versa.
Yeah.
Very first scene of the film. The other one.
Oh,
is,
yes, she's showing
she's
on the
showing
lab.
a cancer cell dividing. I mean,
Yes.
it's really obvious.
Yeah.
Really, it's sort of a little bit.
Yeah. Plain. It's in your face.
Yes. Or as,
And
as
one of
someone I know said, that metaphor is paper thin. But
and also the woman, was she a psychologist? Jennifer Jason Leigh's character has cancer.
she's got cancer that comes back. Yeah. So, and with the mutations, the mutating genes, the mutating cells, it's all.
Wouldn't here's another puzzler. She's got cancer. If she goes into a big cancer, doesn't that cancel it out? Cancer.
Maybe that's what she's thinking. She's thinking this could be my last chance. I'm gonna die anyway. There could be something in here.
Yeah, maybe.
For me-
Or the cancer could turn into the bloke's intestines and
Do something else completely.
create life of its own and
a-
stick it to a wall.
It's a roll of the dice, isn't it? But that also, I think all of them except Portman, and she mentioned this, didn't she, to Benedict Wong in the big white suit.
Oh, yeah.
Why did you come back and nobody else? There was a bit of self-destruction theme there as well.
That was the other one I was going to mention,
Right.
was the self-destruction is everywhere in
Yeah.
this film, from her, from the shimmer itself and people deciding to go in and sacrifice themselves, to the husband's, or to her affair, the self-destruction of the marriage.
Yep.
And
that was nicely
I'm sure
played.
there's others too.
That wasn't too hand-wringing and, drawn out. I didn't even notice that that's why he was going in until a bit later when she was talking with the psychologist.
Yeah, well, that did come out nicely in that way.
Yes, yeah. And there were people with addiction and grief problems and things, so maybe that was go into the shimmer and destroy yourself. That's the promise.
I think she does mention as well that perhaps one of the only reasons she's the only one that made it out was because she felt like she needed to come back.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas everyone else was kind of fairly resigned to it being a suicide mission.
Right.
So perhaps there's some consciousness that goes into the way you mutate.
You'll come out with what you go in. Wasn't that Yoda?
No, I don't
That didn't sound like Yoda, sorry. No, what does Yoda say in the, when Luke goes into the tunnel, you take in with you all your issues, or... Yeah, it's one of those kind of...
But that's sort of like going into a film, actually. I think Mark Kermode, the BBC guy, says you get out of a film what you take into it.
Yeah.
Which is what Yoda kind of said in a
As in
backwards way.
watching a film?
As in watching it.
Yeah.
Like in this one, I expected a bit more from this because I'm impressed with Garland himself. So if I'd just gone in not knowing who directed it and didn't see any of the credits, maybe I would have had a different...
Yeah, no doubt.
knows?
Oh, the other little one I noticed was the glass, at the beginning where they're filming the hands through the glass.
Yes.
And that refraction
It's a prism,
of
isn't
light
it?
on the hands.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering what that was about as well. Oh, it's an interesting shot through the glass there. That's quite clever, some clever cinematographer thinking there.
You didn't think, why are they doing that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Because you've taken issue with that kind of smart cinematography.
Well, when it's gone...
Hey, it's all right now, hey? It's all right now, is it?
Well, when it's connected to the overall theme of the film,
Yeah.
I think it's stronger.
It's not an airbag button, for instance.
Ooh, we were just talking about that earlier.
We were talking about that airbag.
Yeah.
This is not as geeky a film of, when she walks past that tree and you see how the branch was hanging a little lower, there's some geeky reason
The
for that.
heart was
Forget it.
black and now it's red. Yeah. Did you see it as he passed? Yeah. Right. Well, I see what you mean. There are spots, or I guess you call them hints throughout the film about the shimmer thing. But you have to go back to see them all. It was a bit like, what was that last one we talked about? Where it was Get Out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where I thought I didn't notice all the things that had been building up until reading about it later. This one's a bit less layered. Not layered. That's not really the word. Pockmarked.
Pockmarked of...
With little hints or clues, or some people call them Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Well, it's Easter, isn't it?
Happy Easter.
Yeah. Who cares?
One thing I did pick up on, a bit of practical,
Go on.
useful information from this one is how they find north. Talking in the northern hemisphere. Mm-hmm. So when you've got a clock, an analog clock.
Yes.
And if you're in the northern hemisphere, you point the hour hand to the... No, you point 12...
We'll take it easy.
...to the sun. You point 12 to the sun.
12 to the sun.
And then you split the difference between the hour hand and the 12, and you'll find north.
Really? Mm. So what about down here?
Down here, I think I worked out you point the 6 to the sun, split the difference between the hour hand and the 12, and you will see south.
What? Well, why don't you do it 12 for north then? 6 for south, 12 for north? It's the same.
I think, maybe. I just just telling you what I worked out yesterday.
I'm not camping with you, Roly. I'm not
At least
getting
not
lost
in the shimmer.
Not in the shimmer.
No, that's true.
Remind me not to get lost in the shimmer with any of you.
Did you find any connection with other films here?
I don't know why it came to my head. Dirty Dancing. that end scene with her double.
Ah, yes, of course.
That did get a little bit more contemporary dance.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, in Ex Machina, Oscar Isaac does a little dance with one of the AIs.
Yeah,
in that film. Yeah.
It was a strange scene. I wonder if the end of this film is actually a weak point. And I was curious what you thought about that.
Before I forget what I was going to mention, let me come back to that one.
Okay.
Have you seen the Thing by John Carpenter? Mm-hmm.
The Antarctica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that an alien thing lands and, morphs into other people and things like that. That's quite similar, I think. Last year, there was a film called Life with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, Rebecca Ferguson.
Did we see that? I don't know.
Some little tiny space thing comes into their space station and then...
Yes.
Yes.
And then fucks
I
everybody
love
up.
that film.
That was great.
Don't you think there was a little bit of a...
Yeah.
'Cause at the end,
yeah.
we're going to spoil another film, but at the end there's something that sort of, happens.
Yeah. It was a bit more classic kind of
That one definitely
horror.
felt more like, it was a, I get the right one, malevolent force.
Yes.
Whereas I feel like this one,
It's just
you
doing
don't
what it
really
does.
know.
Yeah, I think I'm on the side of, hey, I just landed here. This is what I do. I've just moved in, accidentally.
And not necessarily even a conscious thing, kind of like, when you swab a bit of bacteria on a petri dish. Does it consciously populate the petri dish, or does it just happen because cells divide, like they say? Like,
It's almost like a new system being introduced rather than a new individual entity.
But people complain about this thing is destroying everything. She says it's not destroying; it's just making something new.
yeah.
Yeah, right. The ending.
Is it a weak point?
Bryony.
That's a cop-out.
I didn't mind it, burning everything to the ground. One thing I did wonder about was she sees footage of one of these grenade style, can't remember what it was called now.
Phosphorus grenade.
Who's done his research?
Going off, and, everything looks fairly burnt out within this room, yet somehow the bag full of other phosphorus grenades didn't burn up in the first instance. There's still a bag full of them right next to where the last one went off.
Almost within his carcass. I think she reached down below a leg bone or something to get it, didn't she?
Yeah, I thought
Nearby,
it was maybe
anyway.
like a dusty duffel bag
Right.
or
I
something.
I think the idea is
beside
with
him.
the phosphor itself. So if no phosphor hit that bag of grenades directly, it would have nothing to necessarily burn.
Phosphor. Is that actually a word?
Phosphor.
Phosphor.
Is it a phosphor grenade? Phosphorus?
Phosphorus.
Yeah.
I can find out.
Do any of you know the science behind this? I was a little confused by...
Well, I know that with phosphorus, that's what's doing the burning. That's like a napalm
is it? Okay.
kind of thing. So if the bag of grenades didn't get hit with any of that residue, then it wouldn't necessarily create the heat needed to set off the...
Yeah?
I see, okay.
Do
Sure.
okay.
Well, she was manually touching other bits with her flaming hands when she
Right.
decides to
So
burn
it's
it
like
down.
just like some petrol on you or something, or alcohol on your hands maybe.
Yeah, like sticky. It kind of can stick to clothes and things. It's not very nice at all.
Right, so when you say the ending, do you mean the fact that doppelganger was burning everything and suddenly everything just...
Really, I'm talking about the last
Yeah, that's what I
The
feel.
of the film.
The last
From
frame.
From
Violence.
contemporary dance to the flaming lighthouse.
No, so you're not going right towards the very end
Once
just before...
she makes it back.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, no, that's
Oh.
not what I meant.
Oh, that's where I had the issue.
Okay, what was your issue with that? Am I real?
It's yeah. I think they're trying to hint that she's the doppelganger, the alien being.
I don't see any real argument for that.
Okay, but if that's the case, what we assume that they're both aliens, or from an alien, how did... We saw Natalie Portman dropping the grenade into the doppelganger hand and running out, didn't we?
I don't feel like she is the doppelganger. I feel like she carries some form because, as she knows, she was doing blood tests throughout the entire film. She is mutating herself.
And when
So she contains within her DNA some form.
But her husband is not her husband. That's a fact.
I think we find that apparent. And that's the thing.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
He shows clear confusion as to whether he is who everyone thinks he is. He actually verbalizes, I'm not quite sure.
I don't know what's going on, yeah.
Whereas she has all of her memories intact. She has... I believe she's just a mutated form.
I actually liked his response to that question, though.
I knew we got her in here for a reason. That makes a lot of sense to me now.
His response to that question was pretty good, I thought, in that last scene, which was, you're not the real... You're not my real hubby, are you? And I think he says, I don't think so.
Yeah. But
and I was like, okay, yeah, so this is the nature of it, is that you actually... she's got self-doubt about herself being a doppelganger as well. We don't think she is. But there's definitely something going on. And when she first turned into a doppelganger, or found one, did that come from a tear or something in her eye?
A bit of blood come out of her nose or something.
Yeah. I was a bit confused by that whole sequence of graphics and things.
Yeah.
That's where I'm talking about the end. That's where I wasn't sure if that was a strong point.
They had to resolve what's in the lighthouse in some way. I thought that was okay. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, now I'm sort of with you. Maybe she is Portman, but she's been altered, but not a complete facsimile.
I think we know she was altered because she
knew it herself.
She knew it herself. She'd done a number of tests throughout the expedition.
So then the whole background of the affair, the personal issues between them, does that... Like, if she was a complete carbon copy, she wouldn't even really know about that so much. But now that she is, does she still have the guilt? Or because it's not really her husband, is that sort of, it's okay, I wasn't cheating on this guy. I was cheating on the one who blew himself up.
Well, maybe it's the solution. A good solution for the relationship. Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah, good. Well, I think that's we've waffled enough. What do you reckon?
I think so.
Can I ask one question? I was a little bit confused by. So, Kane, the doppelganger.
Yeah.
He seems to get better once everything else is destroyed. Why? That I was quite confused by. Like, why was he ill while it existed, and why was he then miraculously better when it didn't? If he is spawned from this thing, whatever it is.
I was unsure about that as well, why he was sick in the first place.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I mean, I thought he was sick maybe because he wasn't for this world and he was outside of the shimmer and all that kind of thing. But then when the shimmer's gone, why doesn't he crumple as well? Yeah, didn't matter how much I thought about that, I couldn't quite get that to sit.
This may sound a bit facetious.
Oh dear.
But no ending without that happening. There's no resolution between Kane and Portman's character.
So you're bringing it back to a very filmic.
Yeah, I mean they can't let him die as well. She'd come out and go, whoa, so that's what happened. He's just a crumbled mess.
I'm sure there'd be 10,000 other ways that could be thought of to end the film, but
you still have to have those two together to have that little the frisson at the end, right?
Frisson.
Are you my husband? I don't know. Are you my wife? I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, good point. Let's say the shimmer was using all of his energy because he was out of it. Nobody else was outside the shimmer who had been mutated. When that died, he just recovered his original energy. Hey, it's pretty well explained. Not happy.
Except it's not.
Yeah, but it felt like he could only exist within the shimmer. And
Yeah, maybe.
But then the shimmer
then why did he get
disappears
better?
and he's fine.
Because he's still
Because
his DNA reverts just to human-y, regular old Earth style DNA.
Yeah, you know when you.
But she's
when
still
you're
got that weird little tat thing, so she hasn't reverted to her
I
regular.
I got it.
Earthy.
The shimmer is the parents, and the doppelganger outside is he can't until the parents die. He can't become his own. His own
another
It's
entity.
an analogy for something in
There you go.
Well, hang on. What about if we take it back to the cancer
I'm just waiting for
analogy? If
Yeah.
it's back on cancer, then, has it just been cured? The cancer's been cured.
Oh,
It's in remission.
Interesting.
he's in remission.
Good. Yeah. Okay. One of those 3 or 4 answers.
Okay, that's
Sure.
great. Let's leave it there.
All right.
Great.
No, well, hang on. Would you see it again?
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe I would. I don't know. It's not fun, but it's certainly enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
All
It's a
right.
maybe. Would you guys watch it again?
I would.
Yeah.
I've seen it enough, I think, now. I
Yeah.
watched it a couple of times, but yeah. If you go into a shimmer, put a rope around you and have someone else hold on to it outside the shimmer. That's my advice.
Well, do you know? I mean, apparently there was a scene written in where there were going to be more of these alien meteorites dropping around the world.
Oh, yeah, at the end.
yeah.
And that would be
That's kind of okay. So Earth is completely going to be, and
that would have been getting closer to that life show where there's it has more of a classic horror film ending.
Right. And that's one of the reasons it's on Netflix in other countries except for the US and Canada and China, because the producers argued about this is too smart, this is too erudite. Oh, we can't have that. So Paramount sold it to Netflix because they didn't want to risk a loss at the cinemas in other countries. So.
Okay.
But Garland had final cut. There we go.
Sounds like Paramount doesn't think much of its.
Punters. Yeah,
Punters.
Yeah, that's right. They're all idiots, is what they
I
think.
find that moderately insulting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. See you next time, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
It's destroying everything.
It's not destroying. It's making something new.